Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough! We have entered the Space Paranoids, which are actually very different to anything that we've ever been to before in Kingdom Hearts. It just makes it really cool. Also, Sora's outfit is amazing here, apart from, you know, the handlebars on his helmet. They're kind of ridiculous.
Go on, show 'em who's boss. Who are you?
I am Commander Sark.
A heartless commander?
Observe.
Okay, you're the boss. I get it. Man, what kind of world is this anyway?
You're inside a mainframe computer system.
A what system?
A computer system for processing data. This system is a copy of one created by a corporation called Encom. The original program was destroyed. But this copy was acquired by another user. The new user updated and customized the programs, renaming the system Hollow Bastion OS. He used the system for town maintenance and to advance his private research. My name is Tron. I'm a security program, but now I'm under arrest, same as you.
Did you guys get any of that?
Gorge, you know, maybe we should just introduce ourselves.
I'm Sora.
Nice to meet you, Tron. Well, I'm Goofy.
With that configuration, you must be users.
Users?
You'd better get out of here quickly. Who knows what the MCP will do to you?
MCP?
The Master Control Program. It controls the whole system. If you idle here, you will be derezzed.
So, how do we get out of here?
This terminal could have gotten you back to the user world. But the MCP cut the power 50 microcycles ago. If we could bring the energy core in the canyon online, we could power it back up. The problem is, we're stuck in this cell. We're not going anywhere unless we unlock the energy fields.
So yeah, it's all going down in the Space Paranoids. So, the current music you're hearing right now is called just Space Paranoids. And there are two battle themes, one is bite bashing and one is bite striking. I'm not quite sure what the difference is between them, but it's there, and it's quite cool. Now, I should probably bring up, so Troy, once again, it's all that Greek stuff, it's just locked into my head. Tron, who we've met here, is voiced by Bruce Boxleitner, who portrayed him in the original 1982 film Tron, and also reprised the role in Tron Legacy, and will be reprising it again in the animated series Tron Uprising, which is a thing that is happening. So I think that's kind of his most famous role, which I mean isn't the most famous thing that he could have possibly done, because Tron is basically that one of those films that nobody really ever knows about. I mean, I've still actually never watched Tron. Or Tron Legacy. I really should at some point. But yeah, Tron's just not happened. Apparently he's also Colonel John Conrad in Spec Ops The Line. But, yeah, and Captain John J. Sheridan in Babylon 5, but they're probably about all you'd potentially recognise him from.
The current environment hampers the processing power needed for such an analysis. You're dismissed, Sark. Stop any remaining anomalies in the system, or else. End of line.
Acknowledged.
So there we had the MCP and Sark, who are in this game both voiced by Corey Burton. In the original film they were both voiced by David Warner, and I think they did want to try and get him back to do Sark and the MCP. However, due to a previous commitment, he wasn't able to, and so Corey Burton took over, because Corey Burton can basically imitate any voice, because he's like a voice acting god. So, yes. That cuts us quite nicely through everything, which is impressively quick. Now, this isn't the only time that the Space Paranoids have appeared, or at least a form of the Space Paranoids, because they returned in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, although they appeared in the form of the Grid, which is more like the original version of the Tron world, rather than the Hollow Bastion OS. But, basically, what Nomura had apparently planned was that you would return to the Space Paranoids in Sora's part of the story, and you would go to the Grid in Riku's story, but eventually that idea was scrapped and they just went with the Grid in total. Which was cool because, I mean, Tron Legacy, like, the design for that world is just great. The only disappointment is that the lack of, I think it's AC/DC? Oh no, it's Daft Punk. It's definitely Daft Punk. Yeah. Brain music. Considering I haven't seen the film, I think I've done pretty well in remembering that it is Daft Punk that did the soundtrack for it. So I mean, that's one thing that sort of is certainly disappointing in relation to when you visit the Grid in Dream Drop Distance, is that there's a distinct lack of Daft Punk-esque music, which there really could have been.
This is the energy core.
And now we have to basically hit, I think it's a pink box. It's, like, really stupidly simple. It's like, follow the box, and then hit it. That is literally it. It's insane how simple it is. It's like, what? I thought that was meant to be a challenge, and just nope. Not at all. Now, say, kind of, the original Tron film, which as I've said I've not seen, I really do need to watch it, kind of, it's really interesting because it's, like, one of the first films to really heavily incorporate CGI in this particular brand of CGI that's kind of very video gamey, and it's like, I mean, for the technology of the time, it's outstanding. And it did receive nominations for Best Costume Design, Best Sound at the 50th Academy Awards, and did receive an Academy Award for Technical Achievement 14 years later. But I mean, it didn't do particularly well, and has kind of developed a sort of cult following, although it's certainly nowhere near as big as the likes of Rocky Horror and The Room, which are basically the go-to cult films. I should know because I have had to organise events around them for a film society that I am part of, and they are the most wonderful cult films in the world. So, yeah. Tron doesn't quite live up to that, but it's still sort of... in terms of technical achievement, it's just amazing what they managed to do all the way back in 1982. I like how I just rhymed there without really planning to. See, the inner poet in me is just screaming to get out, even though I don't write poetry, and I can't write poetry because I have a very poor mental grasp of rhymes and meter. I'm much more of a prose person, I have to say.
What did you want us to do?
Find my user. He'll give you the password to access the DTD.
So,
DTD is the name my user gave to the data space. Copies of all the original system programs are stored there, along with anything that's sensitive or restricted.
Is there stuff about the Heartless or Organization 13?
Most likely. A number of my functions were appropriated when I last took on the MCP. That's why I need the password. If I can get inside the DTD, I can access my original backup program and restore all my functions. Then I'll be able to put this system back the way it was before the MCP got control and changed everything. The way it was supposed to be. A free system for you, the users.
Gee, Tron, ain't the MCP one of those programs too? Do you know who it was who made it?
Actually, I don't know.
okay, we'll just have to find your user and ask him. What's his name?
You mean you don't know? My user is the user of this system. Ansem the Wise.
Ansem?
Looks like the MCP's onto us. I'll keep this terminal up and running. You better exit the system now.
Sure, but Tron, Ansem is...
Okay, you're good to go. Hurry.
At this point, I will say, these guys really need to get the handle of, like, the extra titles of people. We faced down Ansem Seeker of Darkness. We didn't face down any bloke called Ansem Wise. So, come on, people. I mean, they could very well be the same person, but... don't know. Somehow don't quite believe it. Also, love the 2D images there that they just kind of did, instead of, you know, bringing in the 3D models. It's very smooth. Been in the computer, Leon. But you're not paying attention. So, it's time for us to go and find out the password. Which, you know, I think we should be able to do. Because generally, what people do when they make passwords, they write them down somewhere, you know. Especially if it's that sort of important type of stuff that you really can't be forgetting. It's not good if you forget this type of stuff. What do you know?
Excuse me?
Important painting. You see? Told you.
What's this doodle?
Hello? Man? Security? Tron? Got you?
Looks like a diagram or something.
Darkness. Oh, D, T, D.
DTD!
What's up?
Look at this. This must be the data space. The DTD. See? The door to darkness.
What do you know? But that still leaves the password.
Say, fellas, did somebody mention the door to darkness?
It's Mickey! Yay!
Majesty. Long time no see.
Shh. The organization might be listening. You mentioned the door to darkness?
Oh, yes, sir. You see, we're looking for the secret password.
Password? Oh, I guess you mean like a code. Well, the door to darkness can only be opened by the 7 princesses. There's Snow White, Jasmine, and Belle.
Of course.
What are you trying to do?
With that password, we can get access to Ansem's research data.
So that means you might be able to find out where he is.
Stop joking around, Your Majesty. We already defeated Ansem. You know that.
Looks like I've got a lot of explaining to do.
Well, listening, Your Majesty.
Okay, but first I've got a question.
Hey, isn't Tron waiting for you guys?
Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. If those Heartless attack, I'll stand and fight with everybody here.
Yeah, we will too.
Then let's talk more later.
That's a promise.
I'll see you when you get back.
So yes, our plot exposition is waiting for us after we, finish our job in the Space Paranoids. And it's going to be quite a hefty plot exposition dump. It's important, especially if you want to get around the plot of Kingdom Hearts. And also we get Master Form, which is cool, but I would say I'd probably use it even less. Well, definitely use it less than Valor. Would use it more than Wisdom, but yeah. Also, we get the Ukulele Charm, which means we can summon Stitch, which is just amazing. I like how I'm more excited about Stitch than Master Form, even though Stitch is useful in certain contexts, but I think it's just more, Stitch! I'm such a Lilo and Stitch fanboy, it's insane.